The average American eats at McDonald's 55 times a year. Yeah, that's basically like having Ronald McDonald as your personal chef for nearly 2 months straight. But before you grab your keys for yet another McTrip, there's something you should know. You remember when your mom used to say, "You are what you eat"? Well, if that's true, a lot of us are basically talking science experiments, thanks to McDonald's burgers. Last week I found a McDonald's burger I had completely forgotten about in my car. And here's the scary part: it had been sitting there for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. And guess what? It looked exactly the same as the day I bought it. No mold, no weird smell. Meanwhile, my homemade burgers start looking like a Petri dish after just 3 days. A regular burger has about 5 or 6 ingredients: meat, salt, pepper, and maybe some garlic or herbs if you're feeling fancy. But McDonald's, you'll need a chemistry degree just to pronounce half the ingredients. Their burgers have over 70 ingredients. That's not a meal. That's a science fair project that somehow ended up on the menu. And let's talk about the beef situation. McDonald's claims they use 100% beef, but somehow every burger tastes exactly the same, no matter which location you go to. It's like they've unlocked some meat-flavored clone stamp tool in Photoshop, but for burgers. A friend of mine used to work at a meat processing plant, and he told me about pink slime. Yep, that's the nickname for the leftover meat scraps, cleaned with ammonia and then turned into burger patties. Sounds delicious, right? But here's the real kicker. McDonald's burgers are practically immortal. Scientists have kept McDonald's burgers for years, and they still look fresh. In Iceland, there's even a McDonald's burger from 2009 sitting in a glass case on display. It's got its own webcam and is probably more famous than most Instagram influencers at this point. Now you might be thinking, well, maybe McDonald's just has amazing preservation techniques. Sure, and maybe my cat is secretly writing a novel while I'm at work. The reality is, real food rots. If bacteria, nature's cleanup crew, won't touch your burger, maybe that's nature's way of waving a big red flag. But hey, if the burgers freak you out, you could always go for a salad, right? Well, here's a fun fact. A McDonald's Southwest salad with crispy chicken and dressing has 730 calories. For comparison, a Big Mac has 563 calories. You read that right. Choosing the healthy option at McDonald's is like going to a casino to save money. My friend Sarah actually tried eating only McDonald's salads for a month to lose weight. The only thing that got lighter? Her wallet. And let's not even start on the yogurt parfait. It looks innocent. Yogurt, berries, granola. Sounds like something your fitness coach would approve of, right? Yeah, keep watching because this one's going to shock you. Did you know that a McDonald's yogurt parfait packs 22 grams of sugar? That's more than 2 Krispy Kreme glazed donuts. They basically took a dessert, slapped a healthy breakfast label on it, and called it a day. That's not marketing. That's straight up wizardry. And the psychology behind these so-called healthy menu items? Brilliant. In a slightly evil genius kind of way. McDonald's knows that when someone in a group wants to eat healthy, they can prevent that person from vetoing McDonald's altogether. Look, we have salads. It's like putting a treadmill in a candy store. It's not there for you to use. It's there to make you feel better about buying the candy. Speaking of healthy options, let's talk about McDonald's sliced apple bags. They took nature's perfect snack, cut it up, added preservatives to keep it from browning, and somehow made it less healthy than a regular apple. It's like they're saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, unless it's our apple. Then maybe keep the doctor's number handy. A nutritionist once told me that if you want to eat healthy at McDonald's, you should order a burger without the bun, no fries, and just drink water. At that point, you might as well stay home and eat a plain hamburger patty in your kitchen while staring at the wall. At least you'd save money. But hey, maybe you're thinking, forget the healthy stuff, I'll just grab a McFlurry instead. Good luck with that, because, our ice cream machine is down, might be the 6 most heartbreaking words in the fast food world. McDonald's ice cream machines have disappointed more people than high school rejection letters. It's become such a universal experience that people have created apps just to track which locations have a working machine. That's right, we live in a world where tech startups exist solely to help you find a McFlurry. If that's not a sign of how bad things have gotten, I don't know what is. And the numbers? They're wild. A recent survey found that about 30% of McDonald's ice cream machines are out of service at any given time. That's nearly 1/3 of all machines. If airlines had the same failure rate, we'd all still be traveling by horse and carriage. But here's the real kicker. Most of these machines aren't even broken. They're just having a tantrum. The machines are made by a company called Taylor, and they're basically the divas of the fast food equipment world. They require a 4-hour cleaning cycle every night, and if something goes even slightly wrong during that process, they lock up tighter than Fort Knox. Only certified Taylor technicians can fix them. And guess who makes a fortune off those repair calls? Ding, ding, ding! Taylor. And according to a former McDonald's employee, the secret menu of error codes for these machines is thicker than, well, let's just say, if you thought your high school algebra textbook was confusing, you don't want to see this. McDonald's ice cream machines aren't just broken, they're mystifying. There are over 20 different error codes, and each one requires a different, overly complicated troubleshooting process. Employees often just stand there staring at the machine like it's some kind of modern art installation, pretending to understand it. The situation has gotten so ridiculous that it's actually sparked multiple lawsuits. Franchise owners are suing because they're losing money. Customers are suing because they can't get their ice cream fix. And somewhere in the middle of all this chaos, that Taylor machine is probably laughing at us all. But hey, at least there's one menu item you can always count on, McDonald's fries. Or can you? Because after finding out what's actually in them, you might wish they were broken too. There's an amazing museum in Iceland that displays a McDonald's meal from 2009, the last order ever served before McDonald's shut down in the country. And guess what? The fries still look brand new, perfectly golden, no mold, not even a hint of decay. My grandmother kept her wedding dress in pristine condition for 60 years, and honestly, these fries might give it some serious competition for best preserved item of the century. The museum curator just dusts them off occasionally, like they're some kind of ancient artifact, which technically they are, just not the kind Indiana Jones would be excited about. Want to try a science experiment? Take some McDonald's fries and some homemade fries. Leave them out and wait. The homemade fries will start growing enough mold and bacteria to make a biology teacher excited within a week. But McDonald's fries, they'll just sit there, mocking the laws of nature, looking as fresh as day one. It's like McDonald's discovered the fountain of youth, but instead of sharing it with people, they gave it to potatoes. A food scientist once told me that real potatoes contain moisture and nutrients, making them a paradise for bacteria and mold. But McDonald's fries, they go through so many processes and get loaded with so many preservatives that they're basically mummified before they even hit the fryer. They're like the ancient Egyptian pharaohs of fast food, preserved for eternity. But probably not something you want to put in your mouth. And don't even get me started on the salt content. One medium serving of these eternal fries contains so much sodium, it could probably make a cardiologist faint. It's like McDonald's isn't just preserving their fries, they're trying to preserve us too. Maybe that's the secret plan, turn all their customers into human jerky. Speaking of mysterious processed foods, have you ever really thought about what you're actually eating when those late-night McNugget cravings hit? It's 4 a.m., you're half asleep, your stomach is growling, and then you hear it. Welcome to McDonald's. Would you like to try our McNuggets? Those words at 4 a.m., they hit differently. We've all been there. It's the middle of the night, and for some reason, those golden, crispy nuggets of mystery meat seem like the answer to all of life's problems. But then reality kicks in, and the real question starts popping into your head. What am I actually putting into my body right now? Because let me tell you, the ingredient list for McNuggets reads like a final exam in advanced chemistry, And there's one particular ingredient that'll really make you think twice. Ever wondered what exactly is in a McNugget? Well, let me introduce you to dimethylsiloxane, the same stuff they put in silly putty. McDonald's claims it's just an anti-foaming agent for their cooking oil. But let's be real. If you need to add anti-foaming agents to your chicken, maybe we should all reconsider our life choices. And the chicken part, that's only half of what you're actually eating. The other half? A mix of corn derivatives, leavening agents, and dextrose, which is basically a fancy way of saying sugar. Yes, they put sugar in their chicken. It's like they looked at a perfectly good piece of chicken and thought, you know what? This needs everything but chicken. A food scientist once broke down the McNugget making process for me, and I honestly wish they hadn't. First, they take chicken parts, yes, parts, grind them into a paste, and then mix in stabilizers, preservatives, and artificial flavoring. Then they mold this chicken smoothie into one of 4 official McNugget shapes: the bell, the bow tie, the ball, and the boot. That's right, McNuggets only come in 4 shapes. It's like chicken Tetris, but everything is processed beyond recognition. In a blind taste test, most people couldn't tell the difference between a McNugget and a nugget made from compressed paper towels soaked in chicken broth. Not kidding. This was a real food experiment. The conclusion? We're not really tasting chicken anymore. We're tasting salt, sugar, and childhood memories. But if you think McNuggets are questionable, wait until you hear about those suspiciously perfect breakfast eggs. You know those round, flawless eggs in a McMuffin? They have more ingredients than your grandmother's secret cookie recipe. A real egg needs exactly 1 ingredient: an egg. But McDonald's? They've somehow turned breakfast into a science project with nearly 20 ingredients, including something called liquid margarine. My cousin works at a food manufacturing plant that supplies McDonald's. He told me they pre-cook the eggs, freeze them, then ship them to stores where they're just reheated. They arrive in perfectly shaped discs, like someone put an egg through a Play-Doh mold factory. It's the only egg I've ever seen that comes with an instruction manual. The funniest part, they market these as freshly cracked eggs. And sure, they were freshly cracked 3 weeks ago in a factory, 500 miles away. The only thing fresh about them is the heating lamp they sit under. It's like calling a frozen TV dinner home cooked just because you turned on the microwave. And if that doesn't ruin your breakfast, here's one last fact for you. Those fluffy scrambled eggs in a McDonald's breakfast burrito, they don't come from eggs, they come from a milk carton. Not a normal milk carton, an industrial-sized carton filled with yellow liquid that looks like something from a sci-fi horror movie. Employees just shake it up, pour it onto the grill, and suddenly, poof, it's breakfast. Bon appetit. Ever noticed how every McDonald's egg looks exactly the same? Same size, same shape, same suspiciously perfect shade of yellow? My friend who worked the breakfast shift once told me that when they pour those carton eggs onto the grill, it reminded her of the slime they made in elementary school science class. The weirdest part? It's not even the ingredients. It's how these eggs look like they were copy-pasted from a breakfast factory. In nature, no 2 eggs are identical. At McDonald's, they've somehow cloned breakfast. But let's talk about how McDonald's makes sure you spend more money. First, color psychology. Ever wondered why McDonald's is red and yellow? It's not just because they like ketchup and mustard. It's because science says those colors trigger hunger. That's right. McDonald's literally hacked your brain back in the 1960s when they chose their logo. They basically turned fast food into a Hunger Games experiment, and were all tributes who volunteered without realizing it. Then there's the menu manipulation. Those digital screens, they're designed to make you spend more. The most profitable items are placed right at eye level, where your gaze naturally lands. The cheapest dollar menu items, they're hiding in the corner like teenagers who didn't get invited to prom. A marketing expert once told me McDonald's rearranges their menu boards constantly, all based on what they want us to buy that month. And then there's the biggest scam of all, value meals. The only real value in a value meal is the extra profit McDonald's makes. Here's some math that'll blow your mind. Buying items separately is often cheaper than ordering the combo meal. But we've all been brainwashed into thinking combo equals savings, like it's hardwired into our DNA. Last week I ordered everything separately and saved $2.47. Not exactly retirement money, but hey, that's like half a gallon of gas these days. And now, for the most impressive mind trick of all, the power of smell. Ever notice those vents blasting out the smell of fries when you walk in? Yeah, that's not an accident. Those vents are strategically placed to hit your nose at the perfect moment, right when you're deciding what to order. My car now automatically turns into the drive-thru whenever it smells those fries. I think McDonald's has trained it like Pavlov's dog. Studies show that 70% of customers spend more than they planned just because of how the menu and smells work together. And remember, would you like to supersize that? That one question alone made McDonald's millions. They officially retired it, but don't worry, they just rebranded it. Now they ask, would you like to make that a large? Same game, new name, and that's just the beginning of how McDonald's keeps us hooked. But what happens when you finally break free from the golden arches? What happens when you quit McDonald's for a month? My friend tried it, and let's just say the results were shocking. At first he thought quitting McDonald's would be easy. 3 days in, his car was still turning into the drive-thru like it was possessed by the ghost of Ronald McDonald. Old habits die hard, especially when they're deep fried. Then the changes hit. Fast. First his wallet got fatter. Turns out those cheap meals were costing him $200 a month. Then the physical changes. That I just woke up in a salt mine puffiness? Gone. His skin cleared up, not from some fancy beauty routine, but simply from not eating food with more preservatives than a mummy's tomb. His blood pressure dropped so much that his doctor actually called to double-check the reading. Why? Because an average McDonald's meal packs about 1,200 milligrams of sodium, more than half your daily limit in one sitting. By the end of the month, he had lost 11 pounds, without changing anything else in his routine. Did he swear off McDonald's forever? Not exactly. He still goes every now and then. He's human, after all. But now? It's a conscious choice, not an autopilot craving. As he puts it, it's like that ex you know isn't good for you. You might grab coffee once in a while, but you're not giving them a key to your house again.